Hey everybody, today I want to talk to you about cash discounting and surcharging ready for takeoff. Now, it's no secret to anybody watching this video or listening to this podcast that I have been a huge proponent of this concept of passing the cost of processing on to the consumer. However, with the situation being what it is right now with the coronavirus and us coming out of that, I felt like an additional video was necessary because I've had a lot of kind of conflicting viewpoints that I've been hearing over the last few weeks. On one side of this debate, well, I guess there's three sides. On one side of the debate, we have those who say, well, cash discounting is just going to be amazing now because, small business owners are ready to eliminate the expense. Consumers are going to understand that, et cetera, right? Then we have another side of the debate that says business owners are not going to be willing to screw their customers right now. Their customers need, they want their customers back. They're not going to start charging their customers, Then we have a third view, which is I still don't think cash discounting and surcharging is a good idea, so I don't sell it. Okay? So let me talk to all three groups for just a second, okay? Let's talk to the group number one, which believes cash discounting and surcharging, like me, you believe it's ready for takeoff. Here we go. Let me caution you for just a second. I would not encourage you to dive into this like a bull in a china shop and really go all about the, coronavirus situation. Like the reason you should do cash discounting and surcharging is because the coronavirus has now made it a great idea. I would really not, don't do that. That's going to be a big red flag. And it's just not a good approach to use with the merchant. Instead, what you really want to do there is you really want to approach it from the reality of what the merchants actually need. And so the reality is this is a cost that they can no longer afford to pay. And this is a time where consumers are potentially going to be a little bit more willing to, work with it potentially, right? So I think that's a great approach. Just be very careful where you go with it, right? But I want to spend the bulk of the video talking to these other two groups, okay? So let me first talk to those of you who are still not on board with cash discounting and surcharging. You see it in action. You see it in the marketplace. Let me challenge you for a second, okay? Why exactly are you still opposed to these programs, okay? There's several reasons that I hear from people. Number one reason is I hear people say it's bad for merchants, okay? Now, I'm going to tell you something. I've seen the data, okay? I have consulting clients who do hundreds and hundreds of these cash discount and or surcharge deals a month. And I can tell you for a fact, it is not bad for 95% of merchants. Are there merchants out there where this is a bad fit? Are there geographies where these programs have not infiltrated enough to where it is actually a disadvantage for the pizza shop on one side of the street to have this and the pizza shop on the other side to not have it? Sure. The more common issue actually is agents and ISOs who are not educating merchants and consumers properly, and they're creating a big mess, okay? Or they have these crazy non-compliant programs that are, paying money to the merchant and all this kind of nonsense where it's really confusing. And so there's been issues like that. But let me tell you something, okay? The vast majority of sales that are being made right now, number one, are cash discount. Sorry to all my surcharge friends, but there are a lot more sales being made for cash discounting rather than surcharging for obvious reasons. And I think everybody gets that. If you're all about surcharging, I think that's great. I love surcharging, especially for larger accounts. But the fact remains, cash discounting saves the merchant more money and is more profitable, whereas surcharging is more compliant. And so if compliance is the pitch, great. It's still extremely profitable. I think that's awesome that you're selling surcharging. Congratulations. But I'm just stating a fact that right now there are a lot more cash discount sales being made than there are surcharge sales being made. Okay. But there's a lot of both being made. Okay. You're seeing this happen in the marketplace. Like it is happening. And the merchants are not canceling. The merchants are not having issues where they're losing a lot of business. Like that's not happening. So, it's funny. I just had a call. I think it was on Wednesday. I had a call and it was so funny. I was talking to this ISO that I was doing consulting and helping them about their cash discount program. And they're like, James, it's so funny. We were just watching one of your videos from like 3 years ago when you were talking about how against cash discounting you were. Yeah, I was one of you, okay? Those of you that are watching this are like, I think cash discounting is a terrible idea. I'm with you. I thought it was a terrible idea too, but guess what? It's not, okay? The jury is out. Like, at what point are you going to go, well, wait a second. I thought it was a bad idea. Look, I'm willing to tell everybody right here on camera, okay? I thought it was a bad idea. I was wrong, okay? try that. If you're sitting at home and you still think it's a bad idea, try looking back at the camera and saying, I was wrong, because you're wrong. It's a good idea, okay? The market likes it. The business owners like it. The ISOs like it. The agents like it. The consumers don't care about it. So it's a good idea, okay? Now, maybe you say, no, James, I am standing on I want the moral high ground here. We're ripping merchants off by doing this 3.99%. That's ridiculous. We don't need to price them that high. It's all this profit, blah, 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 blah. Okay, that's fine, okay? You don't want to make as much money as everybody else because you want to have this sterling reputation. I get it. So I don't understand what the problem is. Sell cash discounting with a 3% service fee. Like, okay, big whoop. So you don't like the way everybody's ripping everybody off, then don't do it. Like, I don't think it's a ripoff because I think we're providing a massive amount of value. And I think the banks are making 1.7% on interchange and they're not doing they're moving money electronically. Well, we all know how expensive that can be. Like, we're providing customer service, tech support, underwriting, equipment, on and on and on the list goes. But if we make more than 50 basis points, oh my word, we're ripping everybody off. No, we're not. So I don't see a problem with it. But if you disagree with me, then sell it cheaper. Well, I don't understand what the problem is. Like, it's what the merchants want, right? So go for it. Now, the last one I keep hearing is, well, these programs, Visa is eventually going to take action and, wipe all this stuff out. Okay. I'm not an attorney. This is not legal advice. This is my personal opinion. But I'm sorry, if Visa has not taken action yet in the last 24 months, do you really think following the coronavirus, the Visa executives are right now sitting around a boardroom saying, what should we do next? Oh, I know. We should tick off all the small business owners that are doing cash discounting and make them start paying fees again. That's a good idea. Let's see if we can come up with any other way to get a class action lawsuit against us. No, I can't imagine that this is the time when they're going to take action. And if they do, what are you going to do? You're going to go to a compliant surcharge program. So, I don't really see what the problem is. So for those of you that are in that group, let me just tell you, I really believe cash discounting and surcharging is poised for takeoff if it wasn't already. There are just market forces at play with these programs that are unstoppable, okay? Merchants want to save money. ISOs and agents want to make more money, right? And consumers are really getting used to this. I mean, they really are. Think about how much they're seeing it. Do you realize there are markets that are so penetrated with this that you can hardly go to a restaurant or a retail business without paying a fee if you use your card? Like, it does work, okay? Just like all the people that said the ATM stuff would never work. Because like ATMs, no one's going to pay $2 to get $20 out of an ATM. Well, here we are 25 years later, and we're still doing it. Like consumers adapt, they adjust. They want the convenience, they're going to pay the fee. Are the fees going to stay at 4%? No, of course not. We're always going to have race to the bottom in our industry. The fees are going to come down over time, as it should be. That's the market. But you make money when you can make money by providing a unique service. As it becomes less unique, you lower your margins. Like, this is just economics 101. So the bottom line is cash discounting and surcharging are ready for takeoff. Are you ready to take off with them, or are you going to get left behind? Now, for many of you, you're going after large accounts, B2B accounts. Obviously, I'm not talking to you, okay? I realize there are certain verticals this is not a good fit. But for those of you going after mom and pop shops today, if you're not talking about cash discounting and or surcharging, you are missing out. And I hope that you'll jump on board, make some money, make some sales, help some merchants, and of course, earn some money in the process. So thanks, everybody. Hope you have an awesome day.